WWE's Clash in Italy is this Sunday. So today I'm going to be giving you my predictions on who I think will win their matches and why. And if you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and also follow me on all of my socials. The links will be in the description and in the pinned comment down below. I post a lot of wrestling related content. So if you want to see more from me, you know where to find me. All right, that's enough. Let's get to the predictions. First, let's start off with Becky Lynch versus Sol Ruka. And yes, this time it is for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Now, after a disappointing match at Saturday night's main event where Sol Ruka won via DQ, I I'm hoping this match is way better. I really do believe that Becky Lynch and Sol Ruka could put on an amazing match. I'm not sure the reasoning of why their Saturday night's main event match went the way that it did. It kind of felt like it was more filler than anything, and especially with the title not being on the line in the first place, I feel like we could have skipped that step and just go right to here. But nonetheless, here we are. We do have the match official for Clash in Italy. And now the question is, can Sol Ruka shock the world and defeat Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship? Now, I'm gonna say this: I could see a world where Becky wins again this time, maybe with some more shenanigans, and they kind of try to stretch this story out until SummerSlam. But I think with it being in front of Italy, in front of an international crowd, I think this is the best moment for Sol Ruka to kind of shock the world. I can understand the argument where people might say that it might be too early for Sol Ruka, but even when Sol was being rumored to be called up, I kind of was expecting them to have like a AJ Lee and Paige moment where Paige won the title on her first night on the main roster from AJ Lee. I thought there would be some kind of parallel with them and Becky and Sol, but instead we've been having Sol Ruka have bangers with Liv Morgan, with Io Sky. So I understand that they might want to try to get so accustomed to the way the main roster works. But I'll be honest with you, in my pick right here, and this is really me just kind of wanting to see a shocking moment. I honestly think Sol Ruka might win it here. I think the fact that she won her last match via DQ was kind of just maybe a precursor to actually defeating Becky, and this was Becky's way of trying to, outsmart Sol Ruka and just trying to get a sneaky win. But I think Sol will get the best of Becky at Clash of Italy. So again, I could see a world where they try to stretch it out to SummerSlam and maybe have Becky win here, but just for the shock factor, I'm going with Sol Ruka winning. Next, we have probably one of the biggest rematches, especially for a non-WrestleMania show, Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar 2. And there's a lot of thoughts running through my head. I'm going to try my best to kind of explain them, but I do feel like in from the very beginning when Brock Lesnar teased that retirement at WrestleMania, I was one of the people that was not on board with it. Like I didn't think Brock was really retired, and I was really expecting that Brock would come back for at least around SummerSlam and possibly have a match against someone like Gunther, for example. But with Gunther enacting his favor with Paul Heyman and it turning out to be him moving to SmackDown and him having a championship match with Cody, I'm not gonna lie. At that point, I was like, okay, maybe Brock is retired, right? So it's like a really a big roller coaster of emotions there. And then Brock Lesnar comes back and attacks Oba Femi right before its open challenge. And here we are. We are about to get Oba versus Brock 2 in Italy. Now the question here is, which route do I think WWE will take? Because I still personally believe that Brock Lesnar will retire at SummerSlam this year in Minnesota and Minneapolis. So does WWE pull a crazy shock and continue to raise the stocks of Oba Femi by having Oba sweep Lesnar like 3-0? Talk about WrestleMania, Italy, and then the possible retirement match at SummerSlam. I think that'd be crazy. I personally wouldn't mind it, but I at the same time I don't think that's what's gonna happen. I do think Lesnar wins in Italy, and then Oba and Brock are now 1-1 with the rubber match, the blow off match being at SummerSlam, and it again being a retirement match. And Oba could finally, be the one to retire Brock for good. I do think that's the route they're gonna go, but Again, I'd be shocked if it's a complete sweep. Then again, I wouldn't be upset at it. So I'm gonna go with Brock Lesnar defeating Obafemi and making it 1-1. So then that way we have another reason to have another match at SummerSlam. It's gonna be crazy, and it's funny because Clash in Italy is seeming to be like what WrestleMania should have been this year, but that's a story for a whole nother video. Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship. And when they had this match at WrestleMania, my expectations were pretty low for it. Like, and that's not a shot at any of the women in this match. I think Rhea's fantastic, and I do think Jade Cargill has been getting better. And while there still needs to be some improvement, again, my expectations were just pretty low. But I'm happy to say that they actually surprised me with their match at WrestleMania. And also, given the fact that, I mean, for some reason, the women's matches were super short. I think this was the only women's match at WrestleMania that had 10 minutes. So they definitely made the best that they could with the time that they were given. But I do think this match right here, especially with the atmosphere again of the international crowd, the Italy crowd, I do think this match is going to be a fun one. Now, with all that being said, I do think Rhea Ripley is going to retain just because I think Rhea as champion, there's a lot more fun possibilities of having future championship matches. So because Rhea is a babyface, I do think SmackDown has a lot of top heels in their main event women's division. And then if it was flipped around with Jade Cargill being a heel champion, I just don't think they have a lot of babyface main event caliber women in their division. So I do think Rhea Ripley's going to win here because I could also see a future where Charlotte Flair, she's been having her issues with Charlotte Flair, butting heads. And I do think there's a world where Charlotte Flair is going to want a shot at that title because again, we all know that Flair pedigree. They want to chase championships. So I could see maybe again at SummerSlam, maybe a Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair match. So I do think Rhea Ripley is gonna retain, but this should be another fun match. Next, we have Cody Rhodes versus Gunther for the undisputed WWE Championship. And like the other matches in this card, I think there's definitely different routes that WWE can take when doing this match. I think the biggest question is where's Randy Orton? And the reason why I say Randy Orton plays a big part in this is because if Randy is cleared and ready to come back, I do see Cody Rhodes retaining here against Gunther because wants to run that rematch at SummerSlam. I know they do. So if Randy is ready to come back, I think that's going to be the route for Cody. However, if Randy is not cleared and there is no scheduled or time for him to come back, I do think Gunther could win it here. So I'll be honest with you, I really don't have a definitive answer when it comes to this, but for the sake of it, I'm going to say Cody retains just because I do think Cody versus Randy is the bigger match that WWE would like to plan for at SummerSlam. So I'm going to say Cody retains, but do not be surprised if Gunther actually pulls off the win here and becomes the new undisputed WWE champion. Last but not least, Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu in tribal combat. Now, again, this is going to be not only for the World Heavyweight Championship, but also for the title of Tribal Chief. Now, I'll be the first one to admit I had mixed opinions about this because I love the Bloodline stuff when it first started, and obviously after their crazy journey of Roman losing to Cody, and then even the stuff after that with Roman and Solo fighting for the tribal chief. I really enjoy those things. And while it kind of feels like this is a safety blanket for WWE just to go back into the bloodline stuff, that's where my mixed opinions came from. But I will say I really have been enjoying this whole Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu arc. And I think Jacob has evolved so much into just being like a crazy lunatic who just wants to hurt people. I feel like he has added more depth to his character with pretty much saying that he wants all of this, all of these perks and benefits, not because he wants to be tribal chief, but because he wants to support his family. He wants the best that he can get from being that champion. So I like that they added that because again, it gives Jacob more personality. Now, with all that being said, I'll be honest with you. I don't think Jacob just falling in line after this is the right way to go. I think it kind of undoes everything you just made for Jacob, and it kind of brings you back to square one. Now, this is probably highly unlikely, but I think Jacob should win. I think Jacob should win here. I think if WWE runs a story where Roman, at least maybe again at SummerSlam, Roman is not just chasing to get his world heavyweight title back, but now he's chasing to get his family back. I think that story is incredible. Because imagine a world where Jacob Fatu is now not only your world heavyweight champion, but he's also the tribal chief, and the Usos have to fall in line because of that. And Jacob is this this madman, this nuclear weapon as a tribal chief, and he is causing straight chaos. The Usos are miserable. And now you have Roman Reigns, who again, who is not fighting just to get his title back, but to get his family back. I think that story is 10 times better than just Roman winning and Jacob falling in line. Again, I know it's highly unlikely. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably setting myself up for extreme disappointment, but I do think that is the route WWE should go. Cause like they always say, the chase is always better than, like getting the championship and being a champion. The chase is always that much more exciting. So I'm gonna take a shot in the dark. Again, I could be completely wrong here, but I'm gonna say Jacob Fatu wins the World Heavyweight Championship by defeating Roman Reigns, and because of that, he becomes the new tribal chief. So there you have it. Those are my predictions for Clash in Italy. And real quick, I'll do a small recap. So Ruka defeats Becky Lynch to become the new women's intercontinental champion. Rhea Ripley defeats Jade Cargill to retain the WWE Women's Championship. Brock Lesnar defeats Oba Femi to make it 1-1. Cody Rhodes defeats Gunther to retain the undisputed WWE Championship. And Jacob Fatu defeats Roman Reigns in tribal combat to become the new World Heavyweight Champion and the new tribal chief. Let me know down in the comment section below what are your predictions for Clash in Italy. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on all my socials, link down in the description and in the comments. I'll see you guys next time.